Yes, this is the culture war. It's
Hmm.
something that I'm obsessed with, but I probably shouldn't be. And some people say there's a culture war. Other people say it's nothing but a bunch of fake, phooey, honey, phony baloney. And
Sounds like a bunch of baloney to me.
no, I think there is a culture war. Absolutely.
Who's fighting it?
Well, most people aren't fighting it. Most people are under it, and those that choose to fight it are very much quickly disposed of. So a lot of people are afraid to make a stand because if
Mhm.
you do, you will be punished. And you know, you were like when you wore if you didn't wear a mask, Joey, you were kicked out. Wear a mask. Take the jab. Come on, we're not in a culture war. Give me a break.
Bunch of tards, man. What are
Again,
people thinking? Why did anybody want to breathe their own exhaust fumes? What's wrong with you people?
because because people are insane. You know what? People are insane, and some people are just control freaks. I think they just want to say, "Hey, do it." The reason to go, this guy's not wearing a mask. You need to get out. You need to take steps away from me, 6 feet away, and let me tell some more to you. You know, some of these people, I've seen more cluster B control freaks in 2020 and beyond than I have seen in my over 50 years of living, Joey.
What's a
2020 and beyond brought out control freak.
it sounds a cluster B sounds like a candy bar.
Well, it's someone who's like just over emotional, histrionic, and oh this and oh that. We had the riots, and again, I think there has to be a price to pay for this kind of behavior. There has to be a reckoning for what happened in 2020 and beyond, and the disrespect that I think has happened is just, in my opinion, kind of unconscionable. And I think that hopefully justice will be served. That is my hope that there were some really bad things that happened and some things that I saw as unfair. And I want to see at least some form of restorative justice happen. And I think I know ways on how to do that if I have the right amount of people to get a form of some form of restorative justice. I know that it's not necessarily like this is definitely going to happen. I don't paint a rosy picture, but I know how to. Um, I believe that I have a knack for fighting this kind of adversary. I believe I know how to beat them at their own game. Could
Well,
be
we're
wrong.
working on a couple guests. One of them is Chris Nelson. Chris Nelson is is fighting a fight in Florida. He's actually talked to some pretty interesting people. I think the audience would like to know. I think he's got really good stories to tell, and I think that's going to be a step in the right direction when we do get him here and do discuss these issues with him and get maybe get some um, stories from somebody who really is out in the streets fighting. And I don't agree with everything Chris Nelson stands for, but I do, I do applaud him on the work he has done. And I think he's had a couple conversations now with Ron DeSantis, Laura Loomer. Um, he gets around.
He certainly.
Yeah.
In, whoa! Can you put on your mute? So yeah, he certainly does. And again, it's an interesting kind of thing there, Joey. What's been going on and how things have been happening, and and turning about. The last time we talked to Chris Nelson, um, actually, I think the first time we talked to Chris Nelson, I think there was still Mitt Romney was in the running for the presidency. How things have changed, and how society. I mean, like in the short years that we've been doing this, the censorship has gotten worse, the cancel culture has gotten worse, and again, this pandemic put people out and gave people power and control that they should never have had. We're seeing banks in crisis. We saw lockdowns, and again, I say this to anyone else: did the Russians or the Chinese or the Ukrainians lock us down? Did the Russians or Chinese or Ukrainians did they force it? Are they the ones that brought mask mandates? The Russians, the Chinese, or the Ukrainians? Are they the ones that called uh, mostly riots, mostly peaceful protests? These were Americans that did this, and are they going to answer for this? For this behavior? One gentleman in Nebraska was driven to suicide by Representative or State Senator Megan Hunt, and then she defamed him later on. So my thing is, is anyone going to be held to account for what happened? Is Trump getting arrested? He might. And what that shows is that there is a there is a, I guess,
that's a hustle. It's all a bunch of, it's another Fugazi, another fake nonsense story. Donald Trump is disgusting and disturbing, and as much of a part of a piece of all of these mechanisms working in some sort of solidarity. The media, well, I don't necessarily think they sit in an office together and plan it all out. The media's strength, it drives power from Trump, and Trump is getting power from what happens in the media, and everybody on that team on the side that has the playbook. Those are the people that are walking away winners from all of this.
I just sneezed a heavy sneeze. I don't know. I think it is real.
You think it's real?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think he really may get arrested, and I think it shows a double system of justice.
When was the last time a high-powered politician, like somebody of Donald Trump's status? When was the last time?
Maybe not of Donald Trump's status, but the governor of Illinois, Blagojevich, I think he spent some time in the pen. So that it has happened. Where people have gone to jail for things that they did, and again, what it does show is that there is a two-tiered system of justice in this nation, and it's like I said, he says most never go to prison, but a governor did. Governor, I think you call him Blagojevich, the governor of Illinois, went to prison during the Obama administration. I guess he was accused of selling a seat, and I think he spent some time behind the slammer, Joey.
Nonsense.
Joey, give me a break. Not everything is nonsense. Give me a fucking break, man. Not everything.
The world is a theater, and they've lied enough. They've lied so many times. How could you possibly believe in any of it?
The world should be a theater, Joey. I want a theater of this culture war. It is a theater. The Proud Boys, Antifa. I want to get in the mix. There's too much fun to be had out there. The party is just starting, Joey. I want to have a party with these guys and say, what the hell's going on here? What are you doing? Give me a break. We need to have some fun. Stop being a party pooper. Don't be a Pol Pot party pooper. Talk to people. You don't have to beat them up or assault them because you don't agree. Give me a break. You don't have to burn things down. Stop being a drama queen. Things aren't that serious. Unless they are serious and you got cancer, then they are serious. But in this country, you're not being oppressed. Give me a break. You're a baby.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. It is entertaining, but they should slap that label before any of those newscasts and any of those speeches go up. It should tell us that it's for entertainment purposes only. I mean, I laugh at it. It's ridiculous. It's nonsensical, and none of these players make much of a difference. So, um, one of the most controversial politicians right now is Ron DeSantis. And what do you think of him? What do you think of what he's doing?
I like some of what he's doing. Again, I try not to hold uh, too much credence in any politician. And I'm just
Now, but you are right. I mean, it is worthy of getting up and going and having some fun with it.
yeah,
But
and
for the most part, I think people who are spending all their time arguing left and right issues are just so misaligned with reality.
yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry. Right now, I was basically just tweeting this out, seeing if anyone wanted to listen, or if they did, if they came by. We're live. I just wanted to put that out there that we are live. Here we go. I'm just why is this wrong? Here we go. All right. So I was just putting my name out there and putting the show out there, the show name out there, just a little bit, if anyone wanted to listen. But um, I really think that there is a culture war going on in this country, and things have changed in ways in which I've never seen before. There's a vindictiveness that I have never observed before, and it is rather shocking. Uh, the behavior of our news media, uh, they behave in ways I've never seen before. They deny things that they shouldn't be denying, and they should be called out on the mat. I remember when we were at the BLM protest and they said white silence is violence. One of the things I would use on them is establishment silence is violence. I think that many of the same tactics that a lot of protesters use can be used against them and can be used against the establishment. I think it would be effective. Joey, what is your thought on that?
I don't know if I don't know if I have much of a thought on that. What does Scott think?
Scott, the last thing he said was most governors do not go to prison.
No, he said most Illinois governors go to prison.
Really? I did
That's
not know
what it
that.
says. You misread it.
No, I did. Well, I guess most. I don't agree. I don't think but I wanted to say that I'm just saying sometimes you have to fight fire with fire, and other times you have to flee. Sometimes you have to retreat, is the best thing to do. And sometimes you have to put up fierce resistance. And I think it has to be both fierce resistance, retreat, and smart playing. And I don't know if they're doing that, how smart they are playing, but I know chants that could be said. I know things that can be done to get the point home. And in some ways, you're going to have to be fearsome with your words and vicious with your words. And if you could do that, I think you can gain advantage, at least some form of moral advantage. It's just a thought. Joey, any thoughts? You're on mute, Joey.
No thoughts. Go on.
Again, I believe there is an effective way, a more effective way at fighting the culture war. And I have ideas on what happened, what is happening within this country, and the things that we can agree on, and the things that we maybe even can compromise on, and the things that we cannot. Joey, is there anything to add before we end this show?
Well, we do need some people to call in. Maybe not tonight, but if you check this out and you have some thoughts on it, join us for another show, and bookmark us, subscribe, and let's get this conversation going, because I think you need somebody to spar with when it comes to these issues. I don't think we're completely out of line with some of these thoughts. I think it's important to use your words effectively, and it's also a positive to be able to look at things from an observer's point without really a bias, entering into a situation with a bias one way or another. But I feel like ego and people's maybe even their ethical codes in some cases are compromised, just for the sake of argument, or just to hold on to what they have in terms of their side. People don't want to see, for whatever reason, there's people who are and I'm talking about people in power, are fully against people coming out of this changing of the guards, or whatever kind of infrastructural changes that are occurring in America. I don't think they want to lose a grip on what they have, and so it creates this huge ego battle, culture war. If I get, I see that, but people just, and it's a hard position. Like, do you want to see the system crumbled? Do you, or do you feel it's worthy of repair? And a lot of people, they call it like it is. And America is, as it was, is beyond repair. It's totaled.
Well, you're right. There is an ego battle, and the people that control legacy media and control a lot of institutions seem to be egocentric and really hurting things with their egocentrism. Joey, I'm going to play us out. Anything to say before we go?
Join us again for more transparency and merit.
Become visible. All right? Your magic clanger, Froggy. Higher, get higher.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Thank you for listening.